Lesson 4-1 kind of gets us a little bit more into our positive and negative number unit. It has some vocabulary that may be new to you. A rational number includes all of the fractions and the decimals that end or repeat. So anything that could be expressed as a fraction. Pretty much every number that you can think of so far, with the exception of pi. Pi is not rational. So that would not be, and if you've ever seen something that looks like this, those are called square roots. Those also are not rational. But anything else pretty much that you could think of at this point in your math career. An integer, on the other hand, it has to be a whole number, positive or negative. So this includes all the fractions and all the decimals and all the whole numbers, where this is only the positive or negative whole numbers. Additive inverse is basically opposites, a positive and a negative that add to zero. And we talked a little bit about absolute value in this chapter as well. Absolute value is the distance a number is from zero. So the absolute value of 6 is 6, but the absolute value of -6 is 6, because they're both 6 spaces away from zero, just in opposite direction. This is 6 away in the negative direction, and this is 6 away in the positive direction. So both of these have an absolute value of 6, okay? Where these two are opposites. These are one's positive and one's negative. Looking at this concept of opposites or additive inverses, we're looking at things that would create that zero, sum to zero. If you go up 6 and down 6, you would end up back at 0. If you went up 3 and right 3, you would not end up at 0. So this is not additive inverses. Here, this would be like going down and down. Those are not opposites. Both of those are negatives. So that one's not correct. This one is a -6 and a +6. Those are opposites. E, this is just a clever way of saying 2. 10 divided by 5 is 2. They just tried to trick you. So this is +2. This is -2. Those are opposites. Here, these are opposite signs, but they're not the same number. This is going down 3/4, but only going back up 3/5. These are not the same amount. You went down more than you went up, or you have more of the negative than the positive. They tried to trick us there. And then north and south, those again are opposites. So opposites are not the same as absolute values. Okay, absolute value says make each a positive. So this becomes a positive, this is still a positive, and this one right here is a two-step problem. Okay, it says do what's inside of here, which would be make it 4, and then there's another negative sign on the outside. So it's like this one, but it says do this and then stick a negative sign in front of it. This is a two-step problem. Take the absolute value, then take its opposite after you do it. This one always confuses kids. This is 4, this is 4, and this is the opposite of the absolute value of -4. You're doing two things. We'll work on those. What is the difference between a whole number and an integer? Okay, integers include the negatives. The whole numbers don't. This graphic's a little bit bad. Let me see if I can pop up this in color for you. So here it is. Whole numbers are in the smallest group here, and they're all positive, where integers are the positives and the negatives. Okay? And what is the difference between rational and integer? So the rationals are out here, and the integers are everything in here. The rationals include the fractions and the decimals. The integers do not. Okay, that's it for 4-1. This right here is always confusing for kids. We'll keep working on this. Just realize you take its absolute value, then you make it the opposite.